Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Roundup. We've made it through this week's Marvel books and already gotten a brief start of this week's DC books. We're going to keep on trucking through this week's competition. Kicking this off, we've got Titans Beast World, Central City. So, the Garo spores are all over the world and hitting quite a few places. Well, in Central City, the Flash villain known as Godspeed has, as shown on the cover, turned into a giant wasp. But Irie shows up as shit meets the metaphorical fan, or shortly after the shit hits the fan at Barry at the Allen's place. Her and Barry see what's going on at Iron Heights. And see Godspeed, the Wasp. And so, Barry suits up. Wallace and Wallace and Avery make their way to Iron Heights as been a call for the Speed Force for all Speed Force to converge at Iron Heights. But they're dealing with various. They have to deal with, of course, various Garified folks, including a Garified fadeaway man who turned into a giant mouse. However, the spore manages to get to Avery, turning her into a gecko. Another one hits Wallace. It seems that they both managed to shake it off. Each of them apparently turned into a lizard. And apparently Wallace is using special moves from the fighting games he plays. At the Flash Museum, we see Barry and Irie trying to they send out the message that was sent to Wallace earlier. However, while connecting everyone to the Speed Force, Irie sees Iris, Barry's wife, in basically gasping for air, so Barry leaves to help her. However, Iris is trying to get a hold of her brother Jay, who's on a date, unbeknownst to her, with Irie's best friend. Irie's best friend has powers related to the red, but everything goes nuts. They have to deal with Godspeed, and for a moment they manage to contain him, but Godspeed does still manage to impale Jay. Maxine manages to at least somewhat save Jay. The Speed Force helps as well, and they manage to at least somewhat contain, or at least get Godspeed away. Ivy catches up to them, not exactly happy with the fact that Maxine lied to her about having a stomach bug. At the Allen's place, Iris is turned into a cuttlefish. However, when Flash shows up, the spore leaves her and tries to go for Barry. Barry catches it. Maxine analyzes it through the red and then has Jay crush it. Then at elsewhere in Central City, Circuit Breaker, who briefly worked with the Flash, I believe, during Dark Crisis, is working on a play, and, well, a bunch of the cast and crew turn into giant rats. Pied Piper manages to calm them, and the spores get loose, but and then Impulse comes through. Apparently, Impulse has been hit with a spore, turned into a giant lizard, and so Circuit Breaker and Pied Piper, well, mount the giant lizard and head to Iron Heights. Also showing up are Jay Garrick, of course, Wally. Basically, all of the speakers are there. And they come up with a plan. Temporarily allow the spores to take over Flash family and allies. And Maxine, accessing the red, manages to change their form into bees. And then doing the same with Iris, though without Iris ingesting a spore again. Iris becomes the queen bee, and so the Flash has managed to save as many people in Central City as possible, while also maybe putting up some giant honeycombs. But that is where the issue ends. This was a fun tie-in. Up until this current Flash series, I hadn't really been reading Flash for a while, so I'm a bit behind on what's been going on with Speedsters. I think the last issue of Flash I picked up was the first few issues of the New 52 run, so, like I said, a tidbit behind. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Jay Garrick, The Flash, number 3. Where we left off, Jay had shown up at the mall where, while Stargirl and his daughter, the Boom, were hanging out, just as a robot bear attacked. While the robot bear was handled, it does seem that the mysterious villain is making new plans. So the issue begins with a flat in Germany, 1941. The JSA are in the lab of a scientist. Looks like he's trying to make super soldiers. And he actually, with his armor, he's able to actually keep members of the JSA at bay. As his armor the scientist's armor allows him to control the elements. However, Boom shows up from the future, knocks out Dr. Element, damaging his armor and basically causing, allowing Dr. Element to escape. Jay and Judy try to stop him, but he still manages to make his escape. Though Jay does express his expressed that he really doesn't like when she time travels to the past to help him. In the present, Jay and Judy are arguing about Jay having shown up to the mall, and Mr. Trevig does explain a few things, namely how how the Garrick's memories were affected by the temporal disruption. For most people, it just kind of happens. Speedsters, it's a little bit different though. In fact, they largely be immune to temporal disruption affecting memories. Just like pulling Judy out of time, it had a ripple effect. But Stargirl explains that since Jay has been a father figure to so many of the JSA, and always thinking he couldn't have kids, and then he is just trying to, and the explanation makes sense to Judy. So she offers to cut him a little slack. Judy remarks that she's seen Dr. Element's face before, but it's all blurry. She can't seem to recall it. So there's a device being worked on at Terrific Tech that might be able to do something with that. Quiz Kid and Fair Play, Mr. Terrific's son, are bonding as they usually do. They are apparently they become great friends, and but they have a device that can potentially make memories visible. So it's tried out on Judy. Her memories are found, and they did manage to get an image. Turns out to be Professor Hughes, the man responsible for making Jay becoming the Flash. And that is where the issue ends. But that's an interesting turn of events. I'm digging this book though. I like the J. I like the Jays. I got into them during Jeff Johns' run, and I like the character. I like some of the concepts. The whole how it is they managed to appear, significantly younger than they actually should be is always in flux. I mean, aside from just comic books, but still, there's enough disbelief to. I can suspend my disbelief for that though. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Hawkgirl number 6, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Vulpecula had transported herself, Hawkgirl, and Galaxy to the Nth World. Vulpecula making her grand return. After forcing Hawkgirl and some of the Superman family to deal with a dragon in Metropolis. The issue opens with the aftermath of that. With Abilene as well as Galaxy's girlfriend dealing with the helping with the aftermath. On the Nth World, a wise woman named Mulder is being forced to basically kneel to Vulpecula, but she refuses. When she refuses, she's told that she'll be destroyed by the god that has also bowed to Vulpecula, a god that Hawkgirl promptly destroys upon arriving. Apparently, she's had some very strange experiences on Nth World. Time is odd there, but she rescues Mulder. Mulder helps her get to Vulpecula, largely by using a mycelial network that's related to Destiny. Vulpecula is home and over and quite thrilled. But and when Hawkgirl goes after her, well, Vulpecula says Galaxy against Hawkgirl. The two of them fight. Hawkgirl asks what Galaxy was given, and Galaxy says she was given nothing. Apparently, Nth runs on bargains. This is brought up to Mycelia being known as Maureen, who once again imprisons Vulpecula in the Briars. Apparently there's the barriers between the Nth world and the dimension the Nth world is in and our dimension are crumbling and will soon take both dimensions with them. It will take a sacrifice of millions of lives to seal it. And so Hawkgirl volunteers. After all, she's got millions of lives. And so she sacrifices her past lives. All of them. And notes that as they all depart, it seems they have a singular. They all seem to be envious because Kendra is getting to actually make decisions for herself, not to worry about her destiny. Galaxy saves her, and Maureen dubs Hawkgirl Knight of Nth World, and gives her a sword that can be an Nth weapon that can become any weapon anything she wants it to be, and it can be travel size. And so Galaxy and Hawkgirl return to Earth. Sometime later, Hawkgirl is now looking at her two helmets, the one from the Nth World and the one that she ended up kind of leaving behind when she went to Nth World. They're both there, and Kendra also knows she should probably stop talking to herself. But she goes over to Galaxy's for a Hanukkah celebration. And apparently Galaxy thinks she'd come. But there's a toast to good friends and bright futures, and that is where the series ends. Honestly, I like this book. It was interesting. It didn't necessarily. I think there's still some things that could be some plot threads that could be further explored. More with Kendra's personal life, but for now, wrapped up nicely. I'm hoping that we'll be seeing more of Hawkgirl in the future. But I get the feeling probably largely at the moment just in Superman books as a supporting character. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Wonder Woman, number 4. Where we left off, the Sovereign had, with the lasso of lies, convinced a soldier had been present at the fight between various units of the army and Wonder Woman to commit suicide. The issue begins with reports of this, and apparently a journal entry that basically blames Wonder Woman. However, Wonder Woman is in the suburbs of Arizona. A couple has asked her to ask for her. Apparently, their son, who's terminally ill, is his biggest fan, her biggest fan, and so that's his big wish, is spending a day with her. In Washington, D.C., the president's drafting a speech to address the recent developments. The Sovereign is overseeing it. Suggests some changes. This president disagrees. However, the sovereign basically gets up and presents his ring to the president, which the president kisses, and, well, changes are to be made. Wonder Woman and the boy head to Paradise Island. Sarge Steele and Amanda Waller discuss what's going on and talk about the upcoming speech. Steve Trevor gets into a fight with some of the men at the military base, leading him being thrown in the brig. Arriving on Paradise Island, Diana explains her reasonings to her sisters. The law says he can't be here because he's a man, he's a boy. But Nubia basically says that the Queen may rule the Mascara, but no matter what, the Queen does not ever rule Diana. And so, one of the boys spend the day together. He gets to be, a kid. They ride on Jumpa. He gets to fire an arrow at Wonder Woman in the bracelets. It's a nice day. President gives a speech. Apparently, kid that whose wish was to meet Wonder Woman. Apparently, kids at school make fun. It's not so much he gets made fun of, but everyone else kind of, it seems like he's being looked down upon because this year it's Wonder Woman as opposed to Batman or Superman. It doesn't like baseball either. And, he wonders maybe it's because he's sick inside. But Wonder Woman assures him that, there's nothing wrong with him. Aside from, the terminal illness. And Diana takes him back home. Apparently, the president's speech made it clear that basically the U.S. is declaring war on Wonder Woman. And that's where our A story ends. The backup story once again focuses on John Kent and Damian Wayne as the babysitters of Wonder Woman's daughter. This time at the Fortress of Solitude. Last time they were at Wayne Manor. Apparently, Lizzie has got into a Black Mercy. She's seeing herself as Queen of the Amazons with Damian and Jonathan as her subjects, about to fight for her amusement, or to simply fight her. They're trying to figure out how to get the Black Mercy off. John tries talking to her, but Damian is like, "You're just gonna talk to her?" But then, they don't have any gloves that could pull it off. However, then in Lizzie's Black Mercy fantasy, she easily bests Damian and Jonathan. But back in the real world, Superman realizes they do have gloves to remove Black Mercy. Damian, Black Mercy feeds on hope. Damian doesn't have hope. But then she starts to realize that that's wrong. I mean, when Damian and Jonathan surrender to her, she realizes, no, that's not how it's supposed to be, and but they pull the Black Mercy off of her, and and a nice little nod to one of the greatest Superman stories ever told, for the man who has everything. But Damien assumes that voices his assumption that what Lizzie saw was all peace and love and compassion and absurdity. And, well, Lizzie's not going to disagree with him. But that is where the issue ends. This story is getting really good. I'm loving these backups with the Junior Trinity. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment, we've got Batman Superman World's Finest, number 22. Where we left off, Batman and Superman were on Earth 22, where Thunderer had been found. However, now he was going by Thunderman, and immediately assumed that Batman, and immediately turned on Batman and Superman, the Earth Zero versions, forcing Batman and Superman to face their Earth 22 doppelgangers. They managed to escape, however, the Justice Legion promptly found them. While Superman went to speak with Gog. Gog states that they are clearly assassins and they will be dealt with, but not executed. They'll be, taken. They'll be imprisoned as everyone else. The fight between Batman and Superman and the rest of the Justice Legion is quite taxing. Zatanna manages to briefly restrain Superman, but they're eventually captured, in part by having to deal with some of the newer heroes. Firestorm incapacitates Superman with some kryptonite gas, and two of them are taken before Gog. Superman still realizes that this world isn't right, and they're sent to Gog's prison, where seems all of the villains are being held. Just a few of the ones we see are Two-Face, Killer Croc, Penguin, Bane, Parasite, Grundy, Bizarro. Looks like Deadshot. Yeah, just literally all the villains. They're tossed into a cell, but they're not alone in their cell. Also with them is Metron of the Old Gods, which is what Metron's Mobius chair has been converted into Gog's throne. David is turned into Magog, and Metron tells the tale of Gog, the sole survivor of the Third World. The Third World was devolved into a bloody war, and Gog refused to take a side. And eventually, the Third World died. Eventually, the Third World will be replaced with Apocalypse and New Genesis. Gog fell to Earth, and while Earth 22 versions of Batman and Superman talk about what's been going on, while Superman is more than happy to just take Gog as word. For Batman, something doesn't add up. If Thunderman had never met the two imposters, how do they know his name? But Metron continues his tale. Apparently, he and Gog were basically midwives to the evolution to the birth of humanity. Eventually, Gog told him of the multiverse, and Well, Gog needed the Mobius chair for... wanted to use the Mobius chair. When Mobius refused, Gog imprisoned him. But the Earth 22 Batman and Superman show up and basically give Earth Zero Batman and Superman back their stuff. They realize that, yeah, they're probably right. Gog's whole plan, though, is to build a multiversal army and destroy Apocalypse. And that's why he built the Justice Legion A, or the Justice Legion. But they realize that Gog is deliberately going to lead Earth's heroes on a suicide mission. Apparently, Gog even talked about his ascension, and the Ascension is his name for a battle in which there will be no survivors. But that is where the issue ends. I'm really digging this. I'm really digging this arc in World's Finest just for the extra backstory on Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is already a perfect story, and I have to admit, it does kind of rankle me when another writer comes in and says, "Oh, hey, here's some backstory for this old story that I loved as a kid." But having Mark Waid, who wrote Kingdom Come, basically come in and say, "Okay, here's some setup for Kingdom Come." It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. All right, it's not someone shitting all over a great story just to make their own mark. It's the original writer coming along and saying, "Hey, here's basically okay, here's what I've got for the story," and a way of linking it to the primary timeline. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard. Happy holidays, everyone.